do you think that the media is letting go of its ethics in terms of, capturing maximum viewership?
It is, because as I said, it has gone into the form of from a service to the people. When we were doing freedom struggle, news media, service to the people. And slowly and gradually it has become a business.
So do you think that social media in a way has added to the pollution of, news?
Social media, at least to a mass media like ours, it is keeping us in check. हम कहीं भी कोई न्यूज़ अगर गलत हमारे चैनल पे आता है या हमारे अखबार में आता है, we immediately get response on the social media that this is what you did wrong.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natarajan.
Today we have a topic which is being discussed in every household. When I was, this subject was given probably by the faculty here, and they felt that probably I am from this media industry, news media, and news media seems to have lost its credibility. So they reluctantly asked me that would I be able to take this subject. I have no hesitation in taking up this matter and open myself subject to open criticism, if any. So first, maybe rather I should ask you whether you feel that the news media in our country have lost its credibility?
My opinion is that the news media has lost its credibility because many of the time what you read in the print media or something on the electronic media, it's highly opinionated. It's not the unbiased news, the matter of fact that you get to know. It's mostly the opinion, how the news media wants to know stuff, that's how you get it, and not the raw information. So that's why I feel it has lost its credibility.
Right, very good observation. Friends, you sitting at home, you should also see what you feel about it. And you are hearing here in Manipal, where I am speaking from to all of you today, that the subject is कि क्या भारत के न्यूज़ मीडिया ने अपनी क्रेडिबिलिटी खो दी है. आप भी अगर इसके बारे में अपनी कुछ राय देना चाहें तो मुझे लिख सकते हैं.
So I feel news media has lost its credibility because of the increase in paid media content. We have corporate houses, politicians, as well as institutions who are vying for a spot just so that they can showcase themselves. So I feel that we do not get the right information that we are supposed to get. So I do feel that it has lost its credibility.
Due to paid media, you feel paid news, media has lost its credibility. That's what is your comment. Yes.
So my doubt was that you see every news channel at 9 there are debates and all. So what happens after the debate? We discuss every topic every day, but who takes over that topic? What happens to the topic?
Yeah. So no follow up. Yes.
So according to my opinion, I don't think so. The media deserves its criticism because even in US you have CNN, you have Fox News, and people criticize them as well as how Indian people criticize Indian media. So I think it's just opinion-wise, and it's not a universal fact that the media is getting scrutinized.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it's not only about the right news, but most of the times we do not get news. Like when I switch on the news channel, most of the times I'm seeing advertisements. So that gives me a feeling that the media is not responsible enough to give me the news that I deserve to hear.
More advertisement than news.
So what I feel is that this news, everything now, it's very competitive. There's so many news channels, there's so many newspapers. So everyone has to differentiate itself from the others. So what they are doing is the way they are presenting the news, it has become more of an entertainment. So in this way, we don't know we are getting the news or we are just going for the entertainment.
I just want to relate it to another topic. If I can give an example, in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, each and every political party has its own channel. If government can make any policies, in starting a channel, there should be some policies not to be given to a political party, and then it can be made somewhat strict, and this loss of credibility we can get back that credibility.
Well, it's true. Particularly a lot of South India states have got TV stations, news media stations owned by political parties. The law prohibits the license to be given to any political party. Not only political party, but also any religious organization. But we are experts as Indians. We are expert to bend the laws and put somebody else in front and who is not a political registered person, and you get the license in their name, and then that's how it goes.
I would like to approach this from a different angle, the business side. Now, let's say an individual, a progressive individual at this date, at this stage of time, gains his knowledge only from media itself. So media, being the key source of information, has actually a captive market. The only source of information is media itself. So, and in India itself, it is growing by millions every year. So the thing is that from the business point of view, it does not matter whether media is losing its credibility or not. That question is only going to make this debate, is only going to boost this debate, and is only going to boost the media industry. So in other words, if you're in news, you are in business. But the main question is, which side of the industry you want to be on? The side of the industry which discusses the debates and goes home, or the side of the industry which tells or which decides what the public will discuss?
Well, this is a good question. Our founding fathers of this nation definitely did not want news as a business. But today it is a business, that is for sure. But I will answer today during the debate your question also. Let me tell you some insight. हमारे जो न्यूज़ मीडिया कंपनी है, जो जी मीडिया कॉरपोरेशन लिमिटेड, जो सारे न्यूज़ चैनल चलाती, टीवी चैनल, also DNA newspaper, also we run social media, on internet, the news bulletins and everything. मैं खुद भी, मेरे एडिटर्स भी, हम लोग ने 8 टोली बनाई अलग अलग, और वी वेंट अराउंड द कंट्री. 4 मेट्रो सिटीज़ हमने लिए, और उसके साथ ही लगे हुए गांव भी, रूरल एरिया भी लिए. तो इन 8 ग्रुप्स ने बहुत जगह लोगों से इंटरेक्शन किया. The findings were that no, the news media have still not lost its credibility as a whole, and don't believe me because I'm from media and that's why I'm saying. That was the finding. I'm telling you the factual position. उन्होंने ये कहा कि you are, as some people have said here, that you are not giving right news, real news. You are putting your opinion on top of the news. We don't want your opinion. हमें न्यूज़ बताइए जो जैसी है, जिस प्रकार से है उसको बताइए, और उसके बाद निर्णय हम करेंगे एज ए व्यूअर कि क्या सही बता रहे हैं, आप गलत बता रहे हैं. What is right, what is wrong. Don't put your opinion on it. Then they also said that you are sensationalizing news unnecessarily. Sensationalization was the another thing which the viewer didn't like. And third was that you are not putting any news which is useful to us. Give us news which touches me, which makes my difference in my life. And fourth, they said that आप मेरे काम की बात रेगुलेटर्स तक पहुंचाइए, सरकार तक पहुंचाइए. तो बाय एंड लार्ज ये चीजें आई निकल के, और सेलेक्टिवली media brands have lost their credibility. There is no question about it. आपको कटघरे में डालता हूं. I don't know how many of you are aware that 2nd October 2012, an FIR was launched against me and my 2 editors in Delhi, claiming that we were trying to extort money from a company which was involved in the coal scam. The credibility was definitely questioned. Is Subhash Chandra an extortionist? His editors have demanded money. The case was made out based on some recording, so to speak, sting operation done by this company, all concocted and everything. October 2012 till today, the trial court said there was no such thing found. They have gone into appeal. Police have still not filed any charge sheet. Today we are sitting in 2015, 2.5 years. The complainant now is approaching us because we filed counter claims that it was he, being a public servant, he was a member parliament, the owner of this complainant company, was member parliament, he offered bribe to my editor, which he has admitted in his transcript. So, ऐसी स्थिति में, as a media brand, what would I do? Have any one of you followed that case? It was widely reported.
When I read about that, the feeling was there can be no smoke without a fire.
Right.
So that was the initial opinion. And this was based on whatever my students earlier said about channels airing information that they find sensationalistic and to a large extent irresponsible reporting. The Taj episode when that was happening, 26/11, the whole strategy was being aired, which means it was available to the terrorists as well.
We were irresponsible.
Yes.
At that time, I admit that we as media, news brands, we were irresponsible.
And even now, recently, for northeastern ambush done by our army against the militants, again, the strategic part is being discussed on the media openly, which is opening our strategic defense to exploitation. What is important is these kind of sensationalistic stuff is being aired. For example, in Karnataka, 2 days back, there is a boy, very young boy who is paraplegic, differently able person. He won a bronze medal in the World Chess Championship. He was earlier in Manipal. Now, none of the media has reported about this. Whereas Dr. Abdul Kalam spoke about what he found in Israel when they were on the Gaza Strip, Western Bank, there were bombings going on, killings were happening. That found a place somewhere on the 6th page or something, but then they were talking about what are all the good things that are happening in Israel and making them feel proud about their country. Unfortunately, when we listen to the news or read the newspapers, we feel more and more miserable about our country, and therefore most of us have even stopped watching news items. We would rather watch Discovery Channel and National Geographic, where the animal world is much more peaceful.
Yeah, that's great. That's true. I agree with you. But I'll still take back to you on our issue when this company offered first to the editor a bribe not to run these coal scam stories. And then this gentleman says that I don't take any bribes. So he says, okay, then we will give an advertisement to your company. And the mistake they made was that let us record those things, let's get a document signed from them. And that will prove us our point further that these people were trying to bribe us. And if not directly to the editor, but now to the company by giving advertising contracts. And instead of these people getting that document signed, they got into trap and they made out a case as if these people were asking advertising. So yes, there was a confusion, but I'm happy that that confusion is by and large sorted out, removed. You will soon probably see these people kind of apologizing publicly that they made this thing against us. But yes, there was a 1 month period, because when this thing happened, I was in the United States. I was also under stress that why this thing happened to us. In 48 years of my business career, this was the only ungli which was raised at me and my integrity. But so be it. This is the price you pay sometime being in the news media. Why? Because news media is a tool which, in a large democracy like ours, creates public opinion. And it creates public opinion so that the other pillars of the society, whether it is executive, the legislature, the judiciary, or even now I would say the business community, they should not use this democracy for their personal gains and personal things. So that is the role of the news media, which it is supposed to perform. And once you get into the field of forming public opinions, then a lot of things happen, and a lot of commerce have started happening. Okay, today's subject is very different, but when I talk, it's a motivational show. We do talk to people, youngsters, businessmen, how can they be more successful. So I would like to show you a few clippings, how somebody has benefited by watching this show. It's one Mr. Mohak Mittal from Mumbai. Let's see what he has to say.
क्या एक व्यक्ति या उसकी सोच किसी को अपना सपना सच्चाई में बदलने के लिए प्रेरित कर सकती है? मुंबई में रहने वाले 28 वर्षीय मोहक मित्तल को देखकर तो यही लगता है। 5 साल पहले उत्तर प्रदेश के पीलीभीत जिले के रहने वाले मोहक लाखों लोगों की तरह सपने लेकर शहर मुंबई आए। बिना किसी सहारे के शोबिस की दुनिया में घुसना नामुमकिन सा लग रहा था। साल बीतते गए, लेकिन किस्मत ने साथ नहीं दिया। एक्टिंग का सपना चूर होने की कगार पर ही था कि मोहक ने वीर सांघवी की लिखी किताब मैन ऑफ स्टील पढ़ी और अपने बिखरते हौसले को फिर से बटोरना शुरू कर दिया।
बहुत डिजेक्शंस हो चुके थे और मैंने ट्राई किया। मैं मतलब बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस में गया, चैनल्स में गया। मैंने ड्रीम एक्चुअली बरी कर दिया। आई लेफ्ट दिस ड्रीम बिहाइंड। मैंने कहा कि ठीक है, मैंने शिपिंग की पढ़ाई की है तो आई विल डू द शिपिंग जॉब। उसमें मुझे जॉब मिल गया और आई विल परस्यू दैट। दैट इज माई लाइफ। आई ऑलमोस्ट फॉरगॉट दिस। एंड देखिए, मतलब इट्स लाइक गॉड सेंड डेस्टिनी की आई रेड ए बुक जिसमें डॉक्टर चंद्रा की कहानी थी। उसमें और भी कई लोगों की कहानी थी, तो मुझे इंस्पायर किया कि सबके साथ ऐसा हुआ है। सबके साथ एक ऐसा पॉइंट आया है जहां पे उन्हें लगा कि यार ये नहीं हो पाएगा, एंड वो उससे ऊपर राइज किए। तो समटाइम्स सोल्यूशन आपके साथ नहीं होता, आप जो काम नहीं करना।
डॉक्टर चंद्रा की जिंदगी के बारे में पढ़कर मोहक ने फिर से अपने सफर की शुरुआत की, लेकिन जिंदगी ने एक नया और पॉजिटिव मोड़ तब दिया जब डॉक्टर सुभाष चंद्रा शो की शुरुआत हुई। डॉक्टर चंद्रा के शब्दों ने मोहक को डर से आगे बढ़ने की सीख दी और एक ईमेल में हुई डॉक्टर चंद्रा के साथ बातचीत में दिया सपनों को हासिल करने का हौसला। आज मोहक बेझिझक ऑडिशंस के लिए जाते हैं, कई रोल्स टीवी सीरियल्स में कर चुके हैं। अब जिंदगी को एक नई दिशा मिल गई है और सपनों को हकीकत में तब्दील करने का हौसला भी।
मैं ऑफकोर्स बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें करूंगा। जैसे मेरे गोल्स हैं, अगर जिस तरह से मेरे मेंटोर डॉक्टर चंद्रा हैं, तो उनको एक गुरु मान के आई एम फोकसिंग ऑन माई लाइफ, और मैं कितनी बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें करता जाऊं, पर मैं ये लाइन को और ये हेल्प को कभी नहीं भूल सकता, क्योंकि ये उस पॉइंट पे उन्होंने मुझे हेल्प किया था जहां से मेरी लाइफ किसी भी एंगल पे जा सकती थी।
Anyway, it's true. I have never met him. But certainly he watched the show, and he must have asked some questions to me, which I must have replied on the mail. And he has benefited. I'm glad that something is working. What is expected from the news media is also not to always be negative, not to always be showing all bad things happening in the society. We must bring the positives also. My editors will say, if we show the positive things, people are not interested. People are interested in development. But I say, why do you imagine that? Let us try and bring out some good people who have done some good thing in their life. And if we show that, probably people will have more interest. People will get more kind of motivated to do better things in life. And that may re-establish the credibility of the news media if we do some positive thinking. These are some change makers we have spotted. और आपको भी मैं कह रहा हूँ, आप घर बैठे हुए देख रहे हैं इस शो को, अगर आप भी कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हों या आपके आसपास कोई ऐसा कुछ कर रहा हो तो हमें ज़रूर उसके बारे में बताइए. हम ज़रूर लोगों को दिखाएंगे, समाज को दिखाएंगे कि इस देश में बहुत से चेंज एजेंट्स हैं, छोटी छोटी काम लोग करते हैं देश में और उसका क्या बेनिफिट समाज को मिलता है. एक देखते हैं एक छोटी सी स्टोरी.
अपना पेट भरने के लिए तो दुनिया करती है, कुछ समाज के लिए करिए तो लोग जो है तुमको नए सिरे से देखेंगे.
खुद सिर्फ 12वीं कक्षा तक पढ़े राजेश कुमार की इसी सोच ने उन्हें एक ऐसा कदम उठाने का साहस दिया जिसका फायदा आज दिल्ली के 200 बच्चे उठा रहे हैं. राजेश दिल्ली के यमुना बैंक मेट्रो स्टेशन के नीचे फ्री स्कूल अंडर द ब्रिज चलाते हैं. एक ऐसा स्कूल जहां झुग्गी बस्ती में रहने वाले बच्चों को मुफ्त शिक्षा दी जाती है. जहां टीच फॉर इंडिया के शोध के अनुसार देश के 4% बच्चे स्कूल शुरू ही नहीं कर पाते, वहीं राजेश ने अपने ही स्तर पर इस आंकड़े को कम करने की ठान ली है. अपने आर्थिक हालातों के कारण शिक्षा न पूरी कर पाना ही बना राजेश की प्रेरणा.
आज भी मेरे को लगता है कि जैसे मेरी पढ़ाई छूट गई, काश इन बच्चों की पढ़ाई ना छूटे. जितना एजुकेशन के लिए लोग जो मदद कर सकें इनकी मदद करके ऊपर उठाए, इन्हीं में से बच्चा कोई लायक बच्चा बन सकता है.
राजेश ने साल 2006 से बच्चों को यमुना किनारे पढ़ाना शुरू किया और जैसे ही मेट्रो की छत मिली उन्होंने उसको ही स्कूल में तब्दील कर दिया. अब हर साल राजेश इन बच्चों को इस फ्री स्कूल में पढ़ाकर उनको सरकारी स्कूल में दाखिला भी दिलाते हैं.
जो बच्चे कभी स्कूल नहीं जाते थे पढ़ने के लिए, आज जो है 12वीं क्लास, 10वीं क्लास, 11वीं क्लास में पहुंच चुके हैं. तो बच्चे के माँ बाप और बच्चे मेरे को नमस्कार करते हैं तो मेरे को बहुत, क्या नाम है, अंदर से बहुत ही संतुष्टि मिलती है. और मैं सोचता हूँ कि अगर मैंने कुछ काम किया है जीवन में किसी से कहने लायक तो ये काम किया है कि मैंने बच्चों को जो है गड्ढे से निकाल करके रास्ते में जो है लेकर के आया.
और इसके बदले इनको खुशियाँ मिलती हैं इन बच्चों की आंखों के खालीपन में भरते सपनों को देखकर.
क्या बनोगे? टीचर, पुलिस. मुझे डॉक्टर, पुलिस.
अगर आप भी राजेश की तरह ला रहे हैं किसी की जिंदगी में बदलाव तो हमें लिख भेजिए clubdsc@zmedia.slgroup.com पर और हम देश भर को बताएंगे आपके हौसले की कहानी.
वो खुद पढ़ नहीं सका क्योंकि उसके पास पैसा नहीं था, तो उसने यही शुरू किया. और कहाँ पढ़ाए, उसके पास ज़्यादा पैसा तो नहीं था, लेकिन एक मेट्रो के नीचे स्कूल चालू कर दिया. तो ऐसी एक कहानियां हैं, बहुत कहानियां हैं हमारे यहाँ. इसी से देश बदलेगा, चेंज आएगा. लेट अस कम बैक ऑन आवर टॉपिक ऑफ टुडे. द न्यूज मीडिया हैज इट लॉस्ट इट्स क्रेडिबिलिटी. इसके बारे में थोड़ा ज़्यादा डिबेट करें उससे पहले थोड़ा सा हम देखें कि भारत में न्यूज मीडिया का डेवलपमेंट किस प्रकार से हुआ. ब्रिटिश इंडिया में मोस्टली इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर्स वर रन बाय द ब्रिटिश कंपनीज, with the exception of, for example, Hindu in South, that was a Indian originated newspaper, few others. Lekin during the freedom struggle of the country, lot of small newsletters started getting printed from underground presses, various places, They were all sending messages to the people in what is happening in freedom movement in different parts of the country. A lot of people were engaged in the freedom movement. Many of them we have not even heard today. But their stories, their plans were being circulated through those news media. It was free at that time. Then came the independence. After independence, there were a lot of questions in front of the country. How will we migrate from the British rule to our own governance? What should be our constitution? A lot of debates going on. There were a lot of lack of resources at that time. The partition had thrown out millions of people on the street. Government was grappling with how to settle them. And so many things were going on with the result. A lot of homegrown news media in terms of press developed. And then we saw the 60s. In the 1960s, we saw the governments felt necessity to communicate with the people for telling them their plans, telling them their stories. They wanted to give certain information through public notices to the public, through tenders, through development. So that money started flowing into the news press media. And 70s and 80s, we saw some private advertising trickling in. Private advertising was still very, very minimal. And why so? Because in 70s or early 80s, everything was controlled, license Raj. I don't think any one of you students here have seen those times when to buy a scooter, probably either you would pay double the price than the company's price, or you will wait for 5 years. To get a telephone connection, perhaps impossible. You will have to tell to some minister or some quota and things like that. But middle of 80s, that opening up started happening. Government was relaxing those license Raj things. Actually, if you ask me first, who was the first reformer in this country? Huh? That is what is popularly known. The first one was Lal Bahadur Shastri. Short span of 18-20 months, he did a lot of things to open up the country's economy, or you can say that short supply he started to work towards to give people more supplies. Then of course came Rajiv Gandhi, he did certain things. And finally, Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh had no choice because the country had only foreign exchange reserve only for 5 days. In 5 days, if they would not have opened up, if they would not concede to what IMF was telling them to do, country would have gone bankrupt. It wasn't any sweet wish of our ex-Prime Minister, late Prime Minister, Dr. or Narasimha Rao ji, God bless his soul, but it was compulsion that we had to open up. And now rest is history. In 1992-93, the electronic media started opening up, coming up. We were the first one to start, though, and now there are more than 300 news media TV stations in the country. No other country have that. More than 10,000 newspapers. No other country has that. And probably now thousands of the internet news media which is coming up. And the social media is becoming more and more popular. Probably laptop. That is the evolution of the news media in the country. Any questions so far?
So do you think media houses is giving into the demands of the viewers? Because I've read a few articles where people said that for releasing those shows which highlight on the lifestyle of superstars, they say that viewers wanted to see it. So do you think that the media is letting go of its ethics in terms of, capturing maximum viewership?
It is, because as I said, it has gone into the form of from a service to the people. When we were doing freedom struggle, news media, even post-independence also, to large extent the news media was still towards the service to the people. And slowly and gradually it has become a business, and a legitimate business, जो कि वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में था. वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में आज नहीं, वो बहुत पहले से इट वाज ए बिजनेस. दे डिडंट सी इट एज ए सर्विस टू द पीपल. जैसे कि हमारे यहाँ इवन द मेडिकल प्रोफेशन 10 साल पहले तक की बात अगर ले लें, आई मीन आप लोग ज़्यादा जानते हैं बिकॉज यू आर रनिंग सच लार्ज ह्यूज हॉस्पिटल्स एंड मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. लेकिन एक कुछ समय पहले तक था कि मेडिकल डॉक्टर का प्रोफेशन वाज कंसिडर्ड टू बी ए नोबल प्रोफेशन. टुडे इट इज़ प्योर एंड सिंपल. It's my business, it's my profession.
So you spoke of the role of social media and how the news has evolved. Also what happens is with social media, news becomes opinionated. I mean, anybody can put their opinions and hence skew our views towards what they want to say. So do you think that social media in a way has added to the pollution of, news, and news has lost its credibility because of that?
No. Social media actually, देखिए, if somebody wants to shift the opinion any which way, there are definitely on the social media there are people, those who work for a particular interest. They take money, they put blogs, they put tweeters, they tweet, they do everything. But you come to know that they are paid ones. But generally, social media, at least to a mass media like ours, it is keeping us in check. हम कहीं भी कोई न्यूज़ अगर गलत हमारे चैनल पे आता है या हमारे अखबार में आता है, we immediately get response on the social media that this is what you did wrong. We don't agree with your point of view. The other day there was on some subject I was discussing with my editors, and I said, look, on a particular news which was in hot topic, तो मैंने उसको कहा कि आप इसके बारे में सच्चाई क्यों नहीं बता रहे हो भाई? सच्चाई मुझे थोड़ा सा पता है, ये है, आप इसके बारे में चेक करिए. He checked it out, और मुझे बाद में उसका फोन आता है कि साहब, डॉक्टर साहब, बात तो सच है आपकी, लेकिन सारे मीडिया में सभी लोग इसी दिशा में चल रहे हैं. अगर मैं उसके टाइड के खिलाफ जाऊंगा, चाहे सच बोल रहा हूं, तो भी शायद सोशल मीडिया वाले लोग समझेंगे कि हमारा कुछ एंगल है इसमें. ऐसे भैया इसके बारे में मत डरो, मेरी एडवाइस तो ये है कि सच्चाई के साथ रहो. एंड I tell you that experiment just of 5 minutes, this discussion turned the whole thing. Everybody in the media started following us in next 2 hours. सच में बड़ी ताकत है, ये मेरा मानना है personally. Thank you.
We are intent to use newspaper for reading the news rather than the time is spent for something else. So what is your say about this?
You as a reader, you find it frustrating that in the newspaper also there are more advertising and entertainment than news. But on the other hand, a newspaper in India is the cheapest newspaper. There is nowhere in the world that you get such a newspaper in 2 rupees or 3 rupees. In our neighboring country, Pakistan, a newspaper which is 12 pages, very bad paper quality is being sold at 20 rupees, 30 rupees. So because of the historical fact that the print media started because of the freedom movement, at that time the thing was being circulated free of cost. For that purpose, that legacy has continued.
Social media has even they have earned the trust and credibility within a short period of time as compared to the conventional media.
It is correct. 20 साल 25 साल पहले, शायद 25 साल की बात हो गई, one of the editor of a large print media said that my job is the second most important job in the country after the Prime Minister. सुना आपने कभी? He said that openly. That was the mindset of the editors. Today they can't say that. Today they are worried that what will people say on social media about me.
झी 24 तास रहा एक पाऊल पुढे.